Kentucky this past November was a really unique hunt, and I want to start really from the beginning of this. Bobby Worthington and I got together back in March, and we wanted to go walk some farms in Kentucky and set up a really good rut funnel. Bobby is a big proponent of funnels and determining the exact tree you need to be in, and I've learned a ton from Bobby over the years. He and I have become really good buddies, and I have really adopted his system of, during the rut, hunting those super tight funnels. So we went to Kentucky and we walked. The first property we walked was a big 1,100 acre farm, and we followed some trails. And after 2 or 3 hours of being in there walking, Bobby kind of looked at me and said, "Joe, this is okay, but I sure hope you got something better than this." And of course, in my back pocket, I kind of had the gem. I saved it. And so we went over to this 70 acre farm. It's a little small farm that's up against a river, and it's got a giant bluff off the backside of it. And we started following the trails up through that property, and they all started coming together at that bluff. And Bobby, I could see it in his eyes. He got more excited and more excited and more excited. So when we finally got in there to the major pinch, to the real tight funnel, that's when the work started. We started dropping a few trees, making some mock scrapes. We were dropping the trees to even tighten up the funnel more. There was a big bluff, and then there was a ditch, and all 7 of these long-range travel corridors came together, and they kind of branched off just a little bit, and we needed to tighten them up a little bit more. So we dropped a few trees to move some trails over. We got a trail camera in there. We got those mock scrapes set up. We went ahead and set the stand up too. So we got everything set up and out of there in March, not going back until September, October to freshen up the mock scrapes, turn the trail camera on, and then really not going back in there until we got some trail camera pictures of some deer traveling through there in daylight. So we start getting some pictures of this 10-point. And he's a very mature buck and one I would love to take. Most of the pictures we got in early October were nighttime pictures. But he was using the funnel. He was going back and forth at night, and we just kind of monitored that. We were hunting at home some. We'd shot a nice velvet buck at home, but we were getting into that transition period where it was going to be going into the rut. And during the rut, we're going to be in those funnels. So as this buck keeps going back and forth, there starts to be a pattern there. He's starting to work those scrapes a little bit. We've got a few pictures of him working scrapes in there. And then finally, boom, we get a daylight picture of him, and then back and forth in daylight towards the end of October. And there's a cold front coming the first week of November with some rain. So we hop in the truck, 7.5 hour drive straight to Kentucky. And we actually get out of the truck, get dressed, right into the funnel we go. We get in the stand, get all set up. I've got a camera guy with me, and the anticipation is really high. That first afternoon sit was pretty uneventful. We didn't see anything but 2 coyotes came up through there right at dark, and it was a little bit disappointing. I will say our access, we tried to come in from the bottom through the river, and we bumped quite a few deer, and so we aborted that mission, and we pulled out and came in from the roadside. And lo and behold, when I got in the tree that afternoon and looked at my trail camera, we had kicked that big deer through there. He had been bedded down in there somewhere, and we had kicked him coming up through that river, and we got a trail camera picture of him coming through the funnel and out the other side. So it really kind of rained on our parade. You can't have a good whitetail season without some good drama, and we flat got some drama. So Lucas and I left Columbia yesterday morning, 7 a.m., drove all the way here, 7.5 hours, come to our spot. Can't really get in through the access that we wanted. They got 5.5 inches of rain in 2 days, and the river's just flooded. So we had to come in a different way, which isn't ideal, but we had to get into this funnel. So we get in, get up. I have to hang a camera stand for Lucas and get in the stand, sit down, got everything ready to go, start looking at pictures. And dang if that big 10 point hadn't been standing right here, literally 10 minutes before we got here. Checked another camera I've got out where they go out to the crop fields, and there was a body of a deer running past that one. So of course, I think we blew him out of here. We didn't know how bad we had messed things up, but that's a really good point, guys. The one misstep that I had in March is I should have made my access bulletproof. I should have walked that river all the way out just to make sure that I could get in and out of there. Now we had 5 inches of rain, so the river was at kind of maximum capacity, and we, even with waders, the only way we could have gotten in there was with a boat, but with it being so thick, it was just not the ideal way to get through there. So the next morning, camera guy and I get in the stand, and as it starts to get daylight, I kind of look down, and one of the big scrapes had been opened up that night. And so now we're like, okay, we're back in the game. And the morning starts progressing. We get to about 9:30 in the morning. I hear a blue jay start barking. And I look down in the hardwood bottom, and the first deer we see is that big 10 point coming up through the funnel. Got him, killed him.
Let's go.
Happened.
You got him.
We got him.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh gosh, morning one, man.
Yeah.
Look at there, boys. He walks into a shooting lane 20 yards away, and that's actually where we walked across. And that's a good point, guys. If your access is not perfect, you can take a beeline through one of your shooting lanes, especially during the rut, and walk straight to your stand. And if the deer you're after comes through there, and he gets a whiff of you from your ground scent, you can get a shot at him right then, and it makes it where it's not going to impede a rut funnel setup. You can also, get some Alematrax, or like Bobby likes to do, put some skunk oil on your boots. Anything you can do to minimize that ground scent. But I have found if you walk straight across that funnel to your stand, that can be absolutely a good tactic. And for us, it was the only way we could get into the stand. It's pretty amazing when a plan comes together like that. When you go in March, you learn some new tactics from a veteran that's been doing this for years and years and years, and you put it all together in the plan that you implemented back in March. You put the work in, and it all came together in November exactly like it was supposed to. It doesn't always happen like that, but this time it did, and we'll take it when we can get it.